Welcome back. Next week is Memorial Day, a time to reflect on those who made the ultimate sacrifice in serving our country. Now, many times their work and their legacy is not always recognized.
Carly Barnett and video journalist Hunter Joyce took a hike behind Robins Air Force Base to uncover a piece of hidden history from nearly 70 years ago.
There were guys sitting right on the other side of the window, so it's poignant.
Behind Robins Air Force Base, past the creek and through the mud, lie pieces of the past. Mike Rowland is curator at the Museum of Aviation. He says in 1947, a flight with 7 Air Force inspectors on board was heading from Robins back to Wright Field in Ohio.
And they loaded up into a C-45 transport airplane, a small twin-engine airplane, and it was going to be a routine flight.
But it wasn't. Shortly after takeoff, the plane went down in the woods south of the base.
Started hitting large trees, and that started this process of tearing the airplane apart. At some point, the fuel exploded, and there was a fire that consumed most of the airplane.
Investigators couldn't say exactly why the plane went down, but it was likely because of a weight imbalance.
And so they sent a team into the swamp to go to the crash site, and it took them about 9 hours to get to it because it was just rough conditions. And as a result of that, there was an effort to expand the road system at the southern part of the base.
Now, after nearly 7 decades, all that's left are shards of mangled metal starting to blend into nature.
The pilot's hands would have been on that at the time of the crash.
The throttle, a piece of the wing, the tail.
Nobody expected them to die on a routine flight. Our men and women in uniform are constantly putting their lives on the line, and not just in combat. In routine missions, in training.
The plane would have been much like this one. That's why the Museum of Aviation has taken some of these artifacts from the site to display next to this C-45 once it's finished being restored.
I think it's important to remember because as we remember, that helps us to understand a little bit better who we are, where we come from. This story of this crash site, at least, is retold from time to time.
History hidden, but not forgotten. In Warner Robins, Carly Barnett, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.
Now, right now, Rowland does not know the timeline on the exhibit. He says there are a few more planes in line first.